Kyle, I'm Sean Stevenson. Blaine's got with me. He told me that you wanted a twisted Damascus knife. Well, I kind of wanted to document what we do or for your knife, how it's done. And it's Florida and it's hot, so you're going to hear fans running in the background through the rest of this. But what we're going to do, if I'm trying to figure out how to do all this, we're going to start out with two different types of steel. This is 1095, which is a straight carbon steel, and this one's 15N20. It has some nickel in it, so that's what's going to give it the contrast. You'll be able to see the two patterns once we go. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to a 72 layer, and then we're going to twist it several times. We'll twist it in the vise. So try to document all this the best I can and try to video what I can, and we're going to get started. Also, once I get done, I'll go ahead and get the blade shaped and forged, and then Blaine's going to take it and he's going to do his thing. He does a hollow grind, which I think you'll like that, especially when you're skinning an animal. We're going to get started. All right, buddy, so what we have now are 6 pieces of 1095 and 6 pieces of 15N20. What we're going to do is we're going to stack these alternating to 12 layers, and then I'll put it back in here, and we will weld the seams, or just weld the edges with a MIG welder, just to hold it together long enough for it to get welded together in the forge. The other reason I weld the seams and not across the center like you see a lot of these, or you see other people do, is that I don't want the mild steel to show up in my pattern. Sometimes I do, but not under this. All I want is 1095 and 1520. I don't want any mild steel in the middle. Last, we'll weld a handle on it. What we're doing now is go to twist it, I don't have delaminations on the edge. It seems to do a lot better that way. Be twisted pretty well. See all the twisting. Now we're going to hammer it out. Hey Kyle, in the beginning of the video I said this is going to be a 72 layer, and then I went back and looked at the picture that you sent Blaine, and that's a 12 layer, so that's what we're going to stop with, is 12 layers. Just want to make sure I corrected that. I don't know if you can see it on the video, you can see the pattern. I think it looks good. Pause for a bit of maintenance on Employee of the Month. All right, we're back. Thinking that looks like a little bit more steel than I need for one knife, and you're right. When I do these, I try to forge it out just for time saving. where I can forge 2 or 3 blades out at one time, and I still need to get 2 or 3 out of it. That pattern in there, all the twists. Right, so I've left it just a little bit thicker than I normally would. The other thing that we're doing is we're heating it back up to critical temperature, and we're going to try to slow cool it in the forge. If we turn that forge down, that should relieve any hardening from working this steel. It'll actually work hard where we can't drill it. So hopefully this will soften it enough latter part of the work we're going to do with it. We're going to try to get it up to critical temperature again. Right there at it. Back part gets a nice bright orange color, I will turn off the forge and just let it set. And hopefully as it slowly cools down, it's going to soften up enough that if not, I'll anneal it. Alright, Kyle, we've cut this out. Just cut it out with an angle grinder, and I'm going to go ahead and shape it on these belts and get it in a good shape, and then it's going to have to lose some weight. We're sitting at about a 1/4 inch thick, so. Now it's time for a little weight loss. This machine here is a flat grinder. It was a 3-phase 240 volt motor. We converted it to a 120, and then we took and we built this for a 72-inch belt so that we could run a belt and do our flat grinding. So that here I clean up my Damascus. I get them flat on both sides, reduce to whatever thickness I want, and then I also do my tapered tangs, which I'm going to do a tapered tang on this knife as well. now I'm tapering the tang. All right, now the rest I'll have to get back on my 72-inch grinder. All right, so we got it. We're under just a little over 3/16 on the tang here, which I like that for what Blaine's gonna do. You're gonna feel like you have something in your hand, but at the same time, you're gonna have a nice, really fine geometry for your edge. And it'll also give you something if you need to push. It gives you a little bit of a surface to push there. I think Blaine's gonna do some file work along the spine too. As you can see, the tang's tapered now. And then this is what it looks like. But obviously you got all these different steels. So what we'll do is I'll take it inside and we'll do just a quick etch so you can see that what I'm showing you is actually Damascus. All right, This stuff in here is ferric chloride mixture with white vinegar. It's reduced, and you can just see it's just a plain piece of steel. Now you can just start to see that pattern showing up, that twisted pattern. Once it's hardened and polished, it'll come out a whole lot better, but you can just start to see it. Well, Kyle, this is finished product. You have your logo. 12-layer twisted Damascus, 1095 and 1520. I haven't sharpened it yet, but you can see how fine that edge is going to be. Blaine got busy on the spine. It's all hand file work. And you might like that cross he did in the center. He tapered the thing, and I used a shredded carbon fiber for the handle. It's very light. My wife Jana will be finishing the sheath this week. Hopefully we'll get it out to you the beginning of next week. Thanks, buddy.